The death of Oaklee Snow, mother turns on boyfriend. The state of Indiana has accepted a plea deal from Madison Marshall. In exchange for a lighter sentence, Marshall will testify against her boyfriend, Roan Waters. This case revolves around the tragic death of 1-year-old Oaklee Snow. Her remains were discovered in a dresser, hidden inside an abandoned house. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. In January of 2023, Madison Marshall and Roan Waters took Oaklee and her brother from their home in Oklahoma. Zachary Snow, the children's father, immediately reported them missing. The couple transported the children across state lines, eventually arriving in Indiana. Marshall was apprehended in North Carolina in March of 2023. Initial charges against her were severe, including neglect resulting in death. Marshall has agreed to plead guilty to 2 counts of neglect. The first is neglect of a dependent, resulting in death. The second is a charge of neglect of a dependent. The plea agreement was officially accepted on April 25th. A change of plea hearing is scheduled for May 1st. Marshall now faces a potential 25-year prison sentence for the charge of neglect resulting in death. She faces an additional 2 years for the other neglect charge. The court has stipulated that these sentences are to be served concurrently. Marshall's testimony will center on allegations of physical abuse perpetrated by Roan Waters against Oaklee. She claims Waters routinely disciplined Oaklee for what he perceived as minor infractions. These included seemingly insignificant acts, such as holding a fork incorrectly. Even urinating in her diaper was cause for punishment. Marshall alleges that Waters choked her out on multiple occasions. This horrific abuse created an environment of fear for the young child. Oaklee reportedly stopped eating around Waters due to his constant aggression. On February 9, 2023, the situation escalated to a fatal point. Waters allegedly yelled at Oaklee, demanding she bounce on a ball. Shortly after this outburst, Marshall found Oaklee unresponsive. Waters' reaction was chilling. He allegedly claimed he didn't do anything and that it wasn't his fault. Waters then prevented Marshall from calling 911. Instead, he wrapped Oaklee in a blanket. Marshall then observed blood and spittle dripping from Oaklee's mouth. Oaklee's lips turned blue and she had no heartbeat. Waters then drove Marshall and Oaklee to an abandoned house. He carried Oaklee's lifeless body inside. Oaklee's body was ultimately found in a dresser drawer. A grim discovery revealed that Oaklee's left leg was broken. Marshall later led investigators to this location. Roan Waters is scheduled to face trial on May 12th. He faces a multitude of charges, reflecting the severity of the alleged crimes. The most serious charge is murder. He also faces charges of neglect of a dependent resulting in death. Additional charges include neglect of a dependent resulting in serious injury. Waters is also charged with battery resulting in bodily injury to a person under 14. Finally, he faces a charge of neglect of a dependent. The coroner determined Oaklee's death was a homicide. The specific means of death were classified as unspecified. Marshall and Waters were initially arrested in Colorado. They were subsequently extradited back to Marion County, Indiana, to face justice.